Greetings. Welcome to my channel. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Welcome. This is a reading for the energy of Libra in the month of July. The Great Mirror approaches. Okay? Yeah. So what the Great Mirror is basically a 9-card spread. I will use clarifiers upon the 9 cards to show the disposition of your energy, someone else's, and in the column between, the Great Mirror is there. And essentially, the Great Mirror is both reflective and refractive. It has the ability to show parallels as well as show the illusion, as well as show the congruence or the similarity between the vision of two different energies, that being yours and the object of your affection, how these interplay, and within the minutiae some form appears. Okay, remember, this is purely for guidance. Whatever appears in the Great Mirror is apparent. Okay, so it's not exactly that. It is merely a perspective. It's the image that we tend to receive or project onto others. Okay, so please clear your mind, if you will. This is for the energy of Libra. I am working from the Grand Alieta School deck, the Atila School. It's a no boundaries deck, and it should be fairly insightful for the energy of Libra. Please clear your mind and relax. Thank you. So firstly, I'll build a bridge. I'm going to pull a single card, and from this card, show the challenge or the tribulation for the energy here. It's sort of the undercurrent. Okay. 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 There's a cycle here that really wants to end. It's been difficult in making this occur appropriately. The ending. There's something growing inside of you that wants to express something, but it's as if there's an inhibition placed on a secret part of yourself that has not let go. There's some form of development here that is stinted or stunted. There's like something here that was nipped at the bud. And as you do this, it's as if you're mature enough to do this, but there's also an inner struggle. Something wants to express itself in the form of a commitment that cannot be no longer given to the situation, to this past thing. Okay, but this is like creating some sort of obstacle or T-square for you. The results may vary, but let's see the bridge. Okay. Okay. So this has to do with your grounding, the ability to find some sort of structure and method in what you do. Not only that, there is a strong connection here that felt like you were committed to on a spiritual level or on a deeper level, that is tied directly to your inner child and your need to express this in a grounded way, to express some form of giving. But the inner child was told not to by something else, either by a higher force or by your higher self or by a version of yourself that may be a bit Saturnian in nature. Let's see. There's a lot of fire here as well as earth. Okay. So feel free to project what you will on those energies of fire and earth. But it has to do with commitment, a new one that could not take off. It could not take off properly, even though there was a lot of passion in it. You found it very challenging, and there was one last straw that you were supposed to take, and you just could not take it anymore. Therefore, you've decided to let things slide. But there still is something that you want to give, some form of offering that is deeply suppressed. And it's your job to realize how this is proving an obstacle for the actual end of a cycle of passion. Perhaps there's some sort of commitment here that was supposed to happen, but the passion is ended. Um, but there still is some sort of lingering heat towards this, and it's causing an imbalance. Okay? Lingering heat. Okay. So, yeah, be careful not to wait too long on this situation. It could take a lifetime. That's the thing. This cycle can take a lifetime, and it represents a form of latent passions that end up fizzling out. And it's really important that you handle that gracefully and make sure where you know where the end is at. Okay? Right. So let's continue. I'm moving on to the great mirror for you. This is for the energy of Libra in the month of July 2020. Yeah, make sure you're balanced when it comes to the closing of this cycle. There may be a return from someone who still harbors some sort of feeling, like the other half feeling. As you can see here, there's a grounding and then there's a circle. The circle is cut in half, therefore there are two parts, two halves to the whole, okay, creating the foundation for this obstacle. Now, the way you can interpret it is that a whole exists, but the way modern love and postmodern love and spiritual love should exist is through concentricity, meaning one circle and then the other circle, and then there's that overlap where you guys share in a small way congruence. You know, that's the fusion point. That's the event horizon. Okay. Okay. So please clear your mind and relax. I'll go ahead and pull for the great portal, the great mirror rather, great mirror now. There also is a possibility that it could be someone else who is mirroring you, who feels like it's ended, but there's still some sort of warmth there. And they want to express this, but they can't because they're also ignoring a part of their inner child, the inner need, the inner want. The want factor here is waning, okay? So it could be that you both are acting as adults, but the actual desire here is sort of fizzling out. But then it's still there. It's still a lingering energy. Very weird how that works out. Could be that both of you felt like it was a burden, but I think this person generally is quite burdensome, and in some way they represent a past burden that wants to end but cannot for the time being. You have to confront the inner child's natural affinities towards need, acceptance, as well as acceptance, like being valued is very strong here, and I don't think there is a strong enough value between you two, even though there is that feeling that you could fulfill each other's emptiness. There's like, how could you fulfill something without having a proper value on someone? Okay, could just be that both of you have lost a sense of value or a sense of desire for each other, and both of you are wondering why. Okay. Okay. Clear. So this is, yes, this is your energy. You'd want it to jump out. Okay. Okay. There's that Three of Wands again. Oh, wow. Oh. Okay. Okay. Wow. Complex. This is your energy, by the way. This is the energy of the object of your affection. Another 10, another ending of sorts, but in the reverse. They're mirroring, yeah, they're mirroring something here. This person is on a quest for finding a way to no longer feel empty, okay? But it's because they're going through an ending or a major revision in their life that is trying to close off a chapter, but it's very difficult to do so. There's a heavy burden, there's a heavy pain that is dormant, and it's being awoken to the path of the hermit, okay? Um, Meaning, this person, excuse me, this person in general, in their relation to you and how you perceive them, are going through an incredible amount of change, but this change is very slow in the making. There's a lot of difficult energies with them that has to do with seclusion as well as transformation that wants to occur, but the cycle's not working out to be so. They do intend to have some sort of new cycle with you. That's sort of what they wanted, but they weren't able to express it because there's a controlling aspect to them that is very non-cooperative and very independent. On a soul level, they are like a child that has run away and has no way of knowing how to get back home. Um, there's an inner rebel to them. On the subconscious level, there's a strong need to transform or let the world around them transform, but they're not seeing how that is. They want to hold something about how they identify in the world and how they identify within this situation. It's as if they don't want the tower to fall, but then a fear creates. They want this to prevent itself. They want to preserve a sense of ego or a sense of identification within this situation or within the external world that they find themselves in. But they also have a tendency to project that external world and structures that are not changing onto you. This person has a great deal of expectations, okay, in this journey that they call life, their own life. Also, there's something about the importation of certain deep insights into the way they receive things. They want to be more on the receiving end of things, but they don't want to take the sort of insight that a lightning strike would give them. Meaning that if there was some sort of insight that came through the destruction of a form that no longer had a purpose, like a structure of the mind or a structure of the self, this person is very hesitant to let something go here. Okay, big time, which causes in a way a prison of fear for them. But it's weird because in this prison they feel the warmth or the daylight. They have some sort of window to see or to feel the warmth of goodness from their external world or through you. Okay, your expectations are massively different. There's a need for you to wait, but no longer. There's like this there's like um, this end game or this finishing point that you can no longer wait for. This has to do with you realizing or at least projecting that this connection may not be the thing that you were hoping for, which is the Six of Cups energy. You were hoping for something a bit more stable in terms of a natural connection that felt like it was timeless or that felt like it had some sort of deeper purpose on your soul's evolution. Be careful, this is also the realm of projection because there's this need in the subconscious realm, if you don't program it correctly, this need that needs to essentially make itself known, but it's through the illusion, through magic, through propensities of desire. But these can be a desire of a higher self. From the higher self comes these projects that you want to bring into the reality of the situation, okay? Um, it's very strange because there's a lot of ambition in this connection, but there also is this element of journey work, and the need to move on. But each time this occurs, there's like this weird triggering that occurs, and it feels like both of you are learning from each other through wounds that are trying to be mended but cannot be, and therefore there's like this stalemate energy or something like that. What is rising from this is the need to essentially travel or move on with a sense of ambition or drive, both parties. Okay, very interesting. This seems like on the conscious level, you have declared that this was just another sort of setback from where you were trying to go to, which was a sense of peace and a sense of belonging somewhere. It could be that there was a lot of anxiety or weird triggering that occurred from this connection, and this person's need to yeah, it's so strange. Like they have such a suppressed form of pain that they won't let go of, and they seem to derive from this a sense of isolation and alienation, but from this they can help their external world somehow. It's very interesting, considering that what lies between you two is a sense on the conscious level that there's just way too much. Um, like you guys can see in hindsight how both of you have contributed, and there's like this truth emerging from a type of restlessness or anxiety that you find within the connection. Both of you triggering certain modes of thought that are quite unnecessary, because you see the lights in the end. At the end of the day, you see what you have learned from it. Okay, there's some form of like disagreeing to disagree, or agreeing to disagree, or coming up with a sort of mental fatigue that really just didn't make any sense in this situation. Just know that on a conscious level, this person wants to numb themselves somehow, and really there's this avoidant personality. You may consider them to be a type of traitor, but what they're really betraying is their sense of really accepting a type of ending in the way they think and the way they process things. They've fried out in a certain way. It doesn't mean that you fried them out, but you seem to be, my dear Libra, going into this form of really looking into the emotional depths of the situation, how they were triggered by certain modes of departure. And as you were seeking peace and a sense of belonging within yourself for the health of everyone around you, there's something that you can now declare, okay? Um, and that I'll leave open to you. Now, just know that there is a possibility here that this will generally be, for the time being, quite disenfranchising. There's a sort of imbalance, and both of you are driven to move on in a certain way, or at least hold on there and hold on to something like an inner truth or an inner revelation that they have found in the last eclipse or during eclipse season. Eclipse season is really affecting them, and also there's something about you that has the fire or the gall to do something, but you're no longer waiting. You're freaking tired of uh, waiting for this sense of soul energy to really pick up. That's what you're searching for, and even then, like even though you may have waited for this person to transform, or at least to realize, come to a sense of enlightenment in the situation. It's very imbalancing for you, and it's really important that you find a sense of health, or at least a sense of propriety in what you do. Remember that this person has the Fool in the reverse, and on the unconscious level, deep down inside, on the soul connection of this, there still is a small desire to begin a new cycle with you since meeting you. But there, it has to be their way or the highway sort of thing. There's this like infantile or childish quality to this person, which is endearing, but at the same time, not very stable. On your end, you have a mixture of the Two of Cups and the Four of Cups. The Six of Cups is strong here on the soul level, adding together from the two and the four, the six, which is all about some form of victory or some sort of unconditionality in the way you have approached this situation. I think you've done a very good job in really finding a way to heal and also to understand the motivations of deeper connections that help you to really establish an open contact here, okay? But this person's hesitancy has led you to a type of boredom, and ennui is here, as well as amour, which has to do with love or love, a type of boredness or like a type of outplayedness. And it seems to me that you've seen this before, and there's a way you can love this person unconditionally, which is really quite nice. Also, there's also a type of detachment that you have here. Um, um, there's something that you offer physically to this person on a soul level. They translate your physical presence as something that is very forgiving as well as generous in a fatherly type of way. The masculine shows up here, and you provide a sense of shelter or grace for them in terms of either a memory or a physical complexity or a physical mixture that becomes alchemy for them. At the same time, there's a level of detachment, and Cancer shows up here, a level of detachment as well as Aquarius. With the star in the reverse, there is a type of detachment here that is not conducive to a type of healing if this person has a rebellious streak. There's something about you that is just teaching them a lesson about how things work from a grounded emotional perspective, okay? This is your reading. Now, as far as advice goes, let's see. All right. It's saying here turn your passions elsewhere. Provide this person truth, but turn your passions elsewhere. As you do, you will find people who resonate with you, that have been through this game before, of seeing options, also seeing ways of love that are unnecessary. Okay, that you can turn this into your own sense or your own sense of self, but then there may be a lingering sort of mist that occurs. When this happens, know that what you focus your attention on can burn out any sensual desires that come from the cup's energy, any pleasures of water, of feeling or emotion. You can burn all of that out and burn really brightly while conveying your truth and also knowing that there's something ahead for you, moving ahead. When this occurs, there's a possibility that you will balance certain things out to find out how certain psychological prisons have been holding you back, but also have been protecting you from heartbreak. As you do this, there is a sense of peace that arrives in knowing the community around you and knowing how people in general are being left out. All right? That is what I have for you. Hopefully that resonates. That was very deep. I am open for private readings. You don't have to come, but if you will, I am in the About section. Otherwise, thank you, and I do appreciate you. See you in the mid-month of July 2020. Thank you, my dear Libra. Bye-bye.